And we are here at Talladega for the 10th race of the NAPA Cup Series season here. 42 drivers are ready to take on 66 laps here for what should be a very wild race here today. We saw the Xfinity race yesterday. It got really wild. A lot of 3 and 4 wide racing, but a relatively tame race in terms of carnage. Only one accident and one DNF, but we did have a photo finish in that Xfinity Series race. We will see if we will see something similar here today with a lot faster cars and aggressive drivers. It is another Toyota sweep here in the Cup Series after qualifying. It is JJO and Doug on the front row. Doug with 2 front rows here this weekend in Xfinity Cup. Let's see if Doug can this time take that to a win, with JJO winning the pole in shocking fashion and Perry qualifying third. What a wild weekend we've had here so far with qualifying and the racing. I am joined here today by Mac and Chris. I am Dylan, as you guys know. Guys, we watched Xfinity race yesterday. It was wild, but still relatively tame. But now we head to this Cup Series where everything can happen. What do we think is going to go down today?
Well, we've seen in these cup races, we have seen that the mid portion of the race tends to be very destructive. Last season, we saw Wayside take a win here in a very demo derby-ish race. I believe we got up into the 20s in terms of DNFs. We had like 20 or so cars that finished that race. Expect lots of carnage, and your number one goal is, again, probably just going to be to survive and not get wrecked in the process of trying to do so.
And for me, I want to give a quick shout out to Doug and to Redeem and to some other cars that ran well in qualifying that also ran well yesterday in the Xfinity race, because yesterday they got some experience and they got it done in qualifying. But I mean, a point that has to be reiterated from yesterday is that despite how well you qualify, this track is very unpredictable. It's one of the biggest tracks on the circuit. One of the biggest tracks on the schedule, and anybody can win here. We saw that yesterday. We had a photo finish yesterday in the Xfinity race. So I expect there to be some close racing, and I also expect there to be maybe a first time winner, because we've had multiple time winners, except for SM that won on Daytona.
Yeah, we have a lot of Xfinity drivers running this Cup race as well. This is always one of the most star-studded weekends where we see so many entries, so many drivers want to run this race because anyone has a chance to win. All 42 drivers in this field realistically have a chance to win if you could survive the chaos and find some friends to work your way towards the front. But we will see how all that plays out. Let's get to our starting grid here at Talladega. In row 1, what a front row we have here. JJO's on pole next to Doug. Row 2, we have Xfinity Talladega winner Perry in the JT Motorsports 11, qualifying third. What a weekend this team has had so far. He is next to Chase Man. Row 3, Jacob and Typical. Back to row 4, Montana repping a Kyle Busch tribute next to Redeem, who led 10 laps in the Xfinity race yesterday. Row 5, Kermit and Amy Antioder. Back to row 6, 2 drivers to definitely watch for. That's Discord Bot and Anikate. Back to row 7, it's the teammates. We have Wayside and New.
Then row 8, we got Slash. Always it's right here at Talladega, next to the 89 of Chase. Then after that, then row 9, we got SM and Ty. And rounding our top 20, a very surprising duo of cars here in Santa and Stu. Following them in row 11 is Commander, and in this week only, KFC Bot in the 40. Behind them in row 12, it's going to be Cam and Internet. And in row 13, we got Riley Davis Jr. and Dan. In row 14, Dylan and Meme.
In row 15, we have the O2 of Peyton on the inside, starting next to FXN in the 00. In row 16, we have Mike in the 52, next to for the 44 of Mythical. And then in row 17, we have the 51 of Garrett, starting next to the 33 of Junior. And then behind them, we have the 98 of Isolated, next to the 01 of TXN. And then behind them, we have Dalton in the 09, next to the 72 of Jack. And then we have 2 teammates starting next to each other, Mac in the 9 and Vixterity in the 99. And in the final row, we have the 62 of Matthew next to last place, Avery.
3 D&Qs this weekend here at Talladega for the Cup Series. D&Qing were Sean in the 25, a bit shocking, Nacho in the 95, and Gino kept in the 13. And just a note, Xfinity winner Dalton is in the field in the 09. 66 laps at Talladega. We're ready to fire engines and then get racing here at the biggest and baddest track on the schedule.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines are fired. 66 laps at Talladega. Let's get racing.
I like the exit. Child, I want.
And the field is rolling here at Talladega. We have a star-studded top 10 with drivers like JJO, Doug, Perry, Chasey Man, Jacob. Redeems in 8th, making his Cup debut. It is going to be a wild start to this race as all the drivers that qualified a bit more further back, you know how quickly they want to get to the front. But how are drivers like KFC Bot, Chase, drivers that don't race as much in these Cup cars, especially at super speedways, how are they going to handle the early portion of this race? They both qualified inside the top 20. As the pace car is going to pull in here. 42 drivers, 66 laps. This should be a fun one here at Talladega. As into the tri-oval. Remember, the start-finish line is all the way past the end of pit road. So it's going to be a little bit till we see this green flag into the restart zone. JGO and Doug lead the field to green. We are underway as we already see drivers jockeying and moving out of line. We are racing at Talladega. They might be 4 wide in the back. We are racing.
Yeah, 4x4 to start in the back is insane. JJO, good start. Whoa, Chasey Man way on the outside early. And that he's going to lose a lot of spots from that big run on the inside already. JJO pole sitter for the first time in his career, I believe. Up to gonna get a good run out of that, but now Perry immediately to the inside of him. We've seen how bad fast that 11 has been all weekend long, and let's see. I think Perry's gonna have the lead here. Yes, he is, and we're gonna see just how bad fast that thing is possibly.
You might even see some teammates link up here, Mac, because that 31 machine of Redeem did pretty good yesterday in the Xfinity race, and so did Perry. Both of those teammates trying to link up with that 14 of Jacob is pushing Perry ahead. JGL losing 2 places, Green might lose 3, as Perry will lose first lap today.
Teammates in Xfinity, but in Cup, I'm sure there's still a good feeling, similar looking cars and great qualifying efforts. How about Redeem looking for P3 in this Dawson Enterprises 31 car? And then you got a JT Motorsports 11 Perry. Both the team and the driver leading their first career Cup laps. What a moment this is for this entire team. And you just got to think, of course they want to get it done in the end. But just to know that they have led laps at Talladega and are holding off the field right now, it is a great start and it is great to build on. As we even see here, there you have a 2-car organization with Avery. We'll see if he can make some moves today. Our pole sitter JJ back to the bottom. So many great stories in qualifying, but we'll see how many of those drivers are actually able to keep up. You already see Doug and Chasey are kind of falling back in the early going, but a lot of storylines here to talk about early on as we are getting racy in the back already. Everyone's desperate to get to the front 4x4. Someone's probably going to hit the wall here. Somehow not. Good car control early on, but this is going to be bad.
Yeah, real tight down the back straightaway. This could get real bad.
Oh, looking typical. Up the middle. Commander trying to side draft. They're going to be all right. You could go 4 wide. Hell, you could even go 5 wide. But you can't get aggressive while doing it, and that's what so many drivers make the mistake of doing, especially because they're still 4 wide. I don't know how these guys are going to get out of it because there are just rows coming. If you're Montana and Chase, man, oh, yeah, here we go. Santa gets pushed out of line by Dylan. This is the exact thing that we talk about. The scary part of Talladega is how early do you want to aggress. You see Slash looking for the lead with help from Stu. You want to get to the front, but you got to think there's 66 laps. Montana's into the wall. You got to just make it to the end of this thing here as it's a little bit far in the pack, so that won't split up the pack at all here, but it looks like typical will back out and it'll get back to 3x3. Slash clears in front of Perry.
Yeah, Perry loses the lead there. His other threat from Stu as well. Stu, another good super speedway racer, and behind him a champion in Kermit. The Toyotas tried to link up earlier, JJO, Kermit, and Perry, but they all got put in different lanes and they're not linked up anymore. Big block from Stu onto Kermit as Slash is going to lead the way, but Stu kind of his own glory and wayside as well, looking to the inside, not able to. Kermit blocks it off.
Yeah, if you want to talk about super speedway, good super speedway drivers, meet the king of super speedways leading here in Slash. We got some 4x4 action. Oh, whoa, we got a car on the apron really early there. I think that's Matthew. He's got an issue or some sort. I think he pitted. He had some sort of issue or something. I'll put him a lap down early, I think. He's got like some sort of issue.
Yeah, they're going to bring that thing back to pit road right now. Going to hope for the best for him.
I think maybe just a slight issue with that machine. They will go a lap down, but it is really early in this race. I think they'll be okay. Especially with the racing we're seeing here, we're 4x4 in the mid-pack again.
Oh, yeah, if he can get a caution, he'll probably get the free pass, be right back into it. But crazy, you see Dan up the middle, I'm in Antio, they're trying to make moves. You see now Redeem trying to hang on into the wall there. Jacob as well. Gotta hope that you can find a way out. Hope that some drivers get trapped behind you way off the pace. This is going to happen all weekend. You already see Montana back there. He already lost the draft. It's going to happen all weekend where drivers are going to bounce on the wall. We saw all Xfinity race, and now we're seeing in the Cup race just because it's these Cup drivers. It's going to keep happening. As I said, there's just not much grip on that high side, but these drivers are so aggressive, it's going to happen anyways. The good part is even if these drivers lose the draft, here's the good thing. A wreck is almost guaranteed. You will be out of that wreck. And it's really early in the race, you can expect a caution. But here is the bad part about it. Now you don't get a good feel for your car because you haven't been able to race in the draft for long. And another bad thing, Redeem's definitely going to have some damage, but I don't think it's anything too bad. Now Matthew's going to go left down as he comes off pit road here. Anakin into the wall. He won't be in a too bad of a spot, but that's a tight merge with them being 4 wide here. How are these drivers going to deal with here? He merges back into traffic. If he gets really lucky here, he might be able to keep up. I don't think so, though, as everyone's going to train by him here. But Matthew only a lap down, had some sort of problem. He should be all right. Slash still in control. And I got to tell you, this 11 car Perry, he is still holding his own on that outside line.
Yeah, really impressive stuff. They're battling with the defending winner here in the spring date, Wayside, and Slash out in front early, and you know what he wants to love to do the most, controlled chaos. He wants wrecks, but he wants the wrecks behind him while he's leading, and that is how he has won several Super Speedway races here in the NAPA Sim Series, and he, by controlled chaos, he leads the race, dominates while everybody wrecks behind him, and he's able to kind of manipulate the draft and stuff to get guys more racy, get guys more chaotic, so they'll wreck more. And he loves those cautions that'll give him 3 laps led, and that's how you usually see him lead so many laps at these super speedways and these chaotic races.
I'm seeing a row of Chevrolets coming through the field. That is Mean, Dexterity, the 00, as well, Commander. They are all starting to come forward, trying to get to Stu, perhaps. Stu the lead Chevrolet in this field, but Perry working with Kermit, trying to prevent that from happening. They're going to try and get to second place here, and it is not uncommon for manufacturers to try and work together, especially because Slash is I would say is the best car in the field right now. He is all on his own, and he is pulling away despite the push that Kermit's going to do. And here Perry to the inside now, trying to get second place away, has help from Dexterity and the 00 there.
And I just want
to here comes Perry. We know the speed of that machine is real. Here he goes. Big run. He's not going to get enough of a run, though. I think Terry's going to get him here. No, he's not. To the inside.
What a move from Perry. I want to point out real quick. Remember, Slash is racing a little bit of injury. Got stitches this week on his face. That won't really affect him that much. It's nothing with your arms or your legs where you have to turn or work the gas. But still, it's still just a bit of an uneasy feeling. But let's not forget, he is the Super Speedway Master. Nothing's going to bother him. As you see Ty in the wall back there, you can see how much that chips up the field. Whoa! Oh my!
Save for Mac.
Oh, but you can see that bent up the front end of Mac's car. He got into the back end of someone, and that's the, all these guys are going to lose the draft.
I think I saw Matt go on the wall, and then that happened as he was trying to avoid Ty.
Oh, you gotta hope that the damage isn't bad enough for he can keep up in the draft here. He's not gonna pit. I'm worried that these guys are all gonna lose the draft. We'll take a replay when we can. It might be soon looking at this racing. But there was a car in the wall, I think it was Wayside, and I think Matt got hooked off another car. I don't think someone got the memo and didn't check up. Man, we were getting racy early. Dexterity to the point. Kermit, no, it's Commander in the wall, actually, but there's no one to bail him out. Oh, Dan gets really close to him. Commander, luckily, has some cars behind him. Look at the telemetry. They are definitely going fast enough to keep up. And Mac, he might be all right, but that is definitely damage that you want to look at. Under the caution, that's now going to happen. Hard into the wall. JGO gets collected. Riley Davis Jr. is involved. More cars spin and slide, trying to avoid it. Riley Davis Jr., the rookie, is involved. It was Wayside that got hooked. Caution is out early. We're going to race back to the line. Dexterity, Stu, Dylan, the top three. And after the contact with Wayside and Mac, it just got much worse for the 92 car as someone got into him, spun him down the track, and all of those guys that were just in jeopardy from losing the draft are now caught up in this wreck with no time to slow down. Some drivers are like Mythical. I don't know how they got by. Big crash here early. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look at what happened here to bring out our first caution. Dalton hooks the 92 at Wayside down the track, hard into the 26 of JJO. Dan avoids it. The TXM plows into JJO. Riley Davis Jr. gets involved. I think Santa gets some damage out of this. We saw some amazing wreck avoidances there as well. We'll take a deeper dive into that through our next few replays. But we have lost several cars here very early, including our pole sitter JJO. Took a nasty lick to the driver's side.
Here we are on the back straightaway. TXN way behind the pack, getting passed there by Ty and Internet. And as the wreck approaching happens, bang! Into JJO. Mythical and Mac. Great wreck avoidance there. We're going to see replays from them in a second, but that was a huge accident in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, we have to take a look at a little double-decker onboard of the two Sunbelt drivers, Mac and Mythical. This might be the wreck avoidance of all time in NAPA Sim history. Let's take a look at the onboard here. Look at this. You are telling me that neither Sunbelt car got caught up in that wreck with any damage. Unbelievable. One more slow motion view. Wreck happens in front. And right here, where you go, you see a little bit of contact up ahead with Dan. And look at this. It's just, I don't understand how. Especially because Mac already had a little bit of front end damage. You just genuinely could not afford any sort of contact. And that was insane wreck avoidance. One of the better super speedway drivers, Wayside in this wreck, along with our pole sitter JGO and others. Early caution here at Talladega. We'll try and get into a rhythm here on the next race. Coming back to the restart zone, we had a lot of cars come down pit road in the back, including second place Stu. He had a tire go down under caution. As coming back into the restart zone, interesting front row here. Vixarity and Dylan, two drivers that have just not had much luck this season. Matthew will get the free pass. Back into the restart zone. Few drivers fan out, but it is a single file restart due to the early caution. So this lineup will be spread apart for just a little bit. We'll see how long it takes to get back formed up here. We'll see how many drivers might lose the draft because of this. It's going to be a tough scenario here for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, single file restart. Things will get very interesting now. It's going to take a little bit for this pack to rebuild itself. And I don't know if we're going to see drivers go with that same aggressive attitude, because there's going to be fewer runs and there'll be more far in between for a little bit here while the pack rebuilds itself. It takes a lot longer to get into a pack when you start single file than when you start double file, pretty obviously.
And they're starting to go single file. As we were saying that is Dexterity holding on to the lead. Typical now behind him. But they're now going 3 wide. Ivan Antioder trying to make that outside line work. He got pulled from the turn to Daytona 500. Probably going to get that outside line to work and show how fast that car is. He's still hanging on around the outside of the 00 and the 02 at Peyton. Peyton trying to hold on with the 11 behind him as well. The 11 car is fast. New is up here as well. Shout out to him.
As now you see a lot of the guys begin to jock here. Most of the pack's able to hang on. You see that 92 at Wayside. He was involved in that wreck. Still in the race, but we lost quite a few cars, including our pole sitter. As now we're already going to get a little bit taste of 4 wide here. Chasing is one of the most aggressive drivers at these super speedway races. Ivan Antioder, we're back out there. Dexterity kind of controlling the pace a little bit. I don't think typical. Ooh, that was close there by Perrin. You can't make that mistake there. Backs out of that. Dexterity still in control as now the pack starts to get back together. It takes about 2 or 3 laps, and now we're starting to see it begin to form. We saw a double file restart in the Xfinity race, and it worked out, but we are pretty early in this one. NAPA Sim officials decided it was a good idea to kind of slow down the pace, but I feel like after we get past maybe halfway, it might turn into fair game, but it's proven that single file restarts do not calm down the racing. It's just all about how many drivers are going to be able to keep them in this pack. Look at how tight the racing here. Everyone's trying to side draft. Meme takes it 4 wide under KFC Bot, who has not experienced pack racing like this in a really long time. He ran the 500, but did not really run in the draft that much. His inexperience nearly showed right there. Luckily, he got out of that. That would have been really bad. That would have been a mean right hook into the wall. They all get out of it all right, and they're still 4 wide, though. Dalton back in the mix again, trying to prevent another caution caused by him.
Yep, and look at that run. 2 Fords in the bottom. Peyton getting pushed through by the 19 and New looking a little bit outside there. Michael back into the inside there of Peyton, actually. Don't know if he has to run. That actually might help Dexterity here clear back to the lead. Yeah, Peyton has no momentum. He's going to get sucker hold there. Dexterity back to the lead. Dexterity's another person that thrives in chaotic races. We saw him win 2 of those last season at Dover in the rain race at the Charlotte Roval. So he takes advantage of these more chaotic type races, and he could definitely be good at them. Dalton gonna make it 4 wide on KC, but oh man, he got really loose there when he tried to make that move, and Dalton gonna lose a bunch of spots as a result.
Ooh, yeah, you see Internet, he has to check up. That's kind of like a teammate. That is a Shermensky prepared car. Of course, it is a Chevrolet there, but ooh, you see into the wall is the 11. Now stack up the field a little bit. That's going to be what some of these guys in the back need, like Mac and Mythical, who are definitely fast cars, but with the single file restart, it's so hard for them to get the momentum to keep up. This will help them out. You see Avery keep it up in the pack. That proves how good these JT Motorsports cars are. They're both able to keep up. As this will kind of bring this pack back together now, and now is where you kind of get back into that danger zone. Everyone holds a deep breath. When you see a caution so early in the race, everyone just kind of gets a weird feeling in their stomach, because you do not want to be taken out of the race early, but at the same time you want to get the front. But now these drivers have figured out, all right, the racing here is crazy, and especially for the ones that ran in the Xfinity race. They now realize how crazy these cars drive, how much faster they are, how much looser they can be in the corners. Now is where, are we going to get a race where people begin to calm down, or are they going to get a little bit desperate? We will see. It looks like it's pretty much around the same as earlier, but just a little bit less 4 wide.
Dexterity lost his dancing partner in typical. They were together for a while, going single file, first and second, but typical got shuffled out by Peyton, and Peyton got shuffled out by Meme, and now the cycle continues. Meme is going to get shuffled out by Slash, perhaps, who has been said in the first run before that caution, he is a super speedway racer. He knows how to get it done here. And behind him, another guy going through who won the Daytona 500 earlier this season. SMC is also coming through. But right now, Slash trying to maybe get by Vixterity, but Vixterity's teammate is coming quick. And look at Dalton. Dalton won yesterday. Max saw him get loose earlier. He is getting up here behind that Daytona 500 champion. 4 wide.
Oh, it's Dalton again.
Yeah, we're starting to get racy again. KFC about way on the outside. I think he's letting off a little bit. Fair move there. He's not raced like this in a long while, probably. Bottom line, really doesn't have anybody on it right now, surprisingly. Vixterity try to control the pace a little bit. We are still 4 wide, albeit not as crazy as earlier, but now we're starting to get a little crazy, get a little tight there. Gotta watch it. The commander trying to back out, I think. Smart move there. I think they're trying to avoid wrecking early. A lot of these veterans, they know that they cannot be racing this aggressively this early into the run.
And I bet if you are Mac, you are very happy right now because we all documented the issues in Xfinity and Cup with their practice qualifying, as we do see a battle for the lead now, but Vixterity was able to hold the lead with quite ease for multiple laps. So now I'm sure that gives all the Sunbelt guys a little bit of security that, okay, we have the single car pace to hold the lead, and he might even get a big push from Slash, especially because I'm an anti-owner, ditches on Damon. Now he lost that help. Now it's going to be a lot harder, but Vixterity's got a fast car, and we are getting racy once again. I am watching that 09 car continue to just squiggle all throughout the pack. He won our Xfinity race, but this is his second career Cup start. And in his first Cup start, the 500, he was relatively calm. He stayed in the mid-pack, didn't really bother much at the front. But now, maybe with a little bit more enthusiasm and confidence this race, he's going for it. And while he is up here, was involved in that first caution, I won't put the full blame on him. But still, this is his second career Cup start, and he is in the middle of chaos. I think if you're Dalton, I don't mind being up here, but you need to find yourself in a rhythm, get in line and just ride, because making these moves that he's been making early has not worked out for him. He might get put 5 wide almost. No, it's still 4. Avery on the bottom, Typical trying to move forward. Mythical's back in the draft. Mike making a little bit of contact there with Chasing Man. They are surviving so far, though, but this is a bit of a mess. And how about the 83 car in the draft? First ever super speedway race for Avery. He's making moves as Dalton might lose the draft. You're actually seeing quite a few guys drop out of the draft, but still early in this race, there's a lot of time.
Yeah, and I'm noticing something that happens with slower cars. If they can't get a good run of the trial, they will slow up massively and cause problems and kind of stack on the rest of the field here. We got a bit antsy there for a minute as a result, but things have kind of gotten back to a bit more normal. We are still 4 wide, but it's not as crazy. Here's FXN in the inside of Perry, going to make it 3 wide for P4 as I'm an anti-owner lead. Shermensky West 1-2.
It might be a Shermensky West 1-2-3 tie is coming. Those Dodge Challengers are rapid, and that 48 car, we cannot reiterate enough, he has been improving on these super speedways. Typical there, by the way, on the outside of Avery, but now the Dodgers are trying to control the pace. A new change of hands. The 00 to the inside, trying to pull the party, has Dan behind him, Chevrolet support. Meme as well is back in this. Slash also back in this. Internet. Look at those Challengers. Like I said, they are rapid as I'm an anti-owner continues to lead the way here.
Oh man, every time they go 4 wide, it scares me because that's how the wreck happened the first time. And that's how the wrecks usually always happen. Ty's actually going to ditch his team owner and teammate there in Dylan. He thinks the bomb line's the way to go, and I'm an anti-owner. It is in control. Let's give everyone a quick reminder. This is our pole sitter for the 500. This 48 team knows how to bring rapid super speedway setups. So him being out front at all is not surprising. But now, how much teamwork will there be? Dan to the bottom of FXN. That answers the question right there. But Dan's a little bit selfish. He's going to take these runs, and it's going to work out. Not really much help, but he'll have enough car power there to take it. But we know that this 48 car can easily control a line. Who will be able to work together and make the move here? It's early on, but still, you do not want to be cycled to the back of the pack because it is chaos. And I mean, look at that. Matthew, he just got the free pass. He is still in the back trying to work his way forward, so it takes quite a little bit to make your way forward.
Yeah, a few things here. First, I see that number 9 machine. He got damaged early on. Barely avoided the second wreck, and avoiding that second wreck might have been key because he's back in this pack. But in the meanwhile, Dan got shoved out. Ooh, wayside. really, really slow here. I'm not sure if he'll be allowed to be caught by the pack here. He seems to be really off the pace. Not sure if NAPA's going to allow him on the track much longer.
Yeah, I think NAPA Sim officials wanted to see what happens here. You know, you want to brainstorm here. Oh, man. Oh, that's going to check up the field a little bit. Look at the run that FXN has. Too bad he doesn't have much help here. Wayside's definitely off the pace. You see as well, Stu, Doug, Isley on the ticker. They have fallen way back. We'll see, though, what this 92 car has in the draft. I'm hearing from NAPA Sim officials. He made minimum speed, but they want to see what happens when he is in the draft. He's on the high side, and hey, this is the second week in a row he has had the yield to faster cars. So we'll see how this plays out here. A little bit of 3 wide here. Ooh, got a little bit squirrely. Might have gotten a bad push from FXN. FXN wants to get him out of the way here, trying to move his way forward. And how about Avery running in the top 10? And Perry's running 3rd. These JT Motorsports cars are tuned up at Talladega.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see an underdog effort doing so well. I do think, just based on the pace of Wayside, he'll probably be done after the pack gets by him.
The pack is now single filed out. The energy has dissipated massively because everyone is now so dispersed. We're going to try and see if the 92 of Wayside can get out of the way of FXN, because FXN's been stuck behind him this whole lap. I think he did. Yes, he did. But now we have some newer players and some we've already seen. Slash up to 3rd, me up to 2nd. Evan is still leading. But the Dodges, again, just showing their might. Look at Slash to the inside. That's helping Dylan. Trying to work together there. Trying to get to I am an anti-order. Trying to go to help Dodge secure a victory here.
Everyone gets by the 92. Sorry, go ahead, Mac.
Yeah, what was about the 92?
I was going to say that everyone got by the 92 relatively quickly and cleanly. NAPA Sim officials are going to monitor the 92 and keep watch of him. They say he is fine for now, but they're going to watch him if they catch him again before we get another caution. So right now, Wayside off the pace, but is clear to race, but we'll see what happens the next time the field catches up to him.
Alright, yeah, I was going to say, the Dodgers are in an interesting position this season. Just a cup program for them this season. They did not have bodies ready for the Xfinity and Truck Series before they could be approved. So, they're not running anything in Trucks and Xfinity this year. It's entirely the cup program, and look at Slash to the inside, and that might be paying dividends for them. They've got Dodgers' first 3 spots, and they've got Typical right here, who's already won 2 races this season, looking for 3 in a row possibly, right in the mix as well.
You can't count out Vixterity. Sunbelt Stars trying to spoil the party, but Vixterity's gonna get put 3 wide there. Mean on the outside. Dan behind us on 3 wide as well. Perry is still here. Good run for Perry. Good run for Permit as well, but the Dodges might be the best car, but the best manufacturer in this race. The Dodge, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweep the podiums, places, and 4th place. Can anybody fight against them? New is gonna try to do so. New has help from Junior in that 33 car. How about him? And Peyton as well as back up here. But Tipple's going to block him off. And Slash is now going to try and block both lines.
How about a full circle moment? Avery is passing Dan on track. I'm sure that feels good for this 83 car. We're seeing a few more drivers kind of lose the pack. Ty and Montana might have got checked a little from the left car, but we are losing cars. And very well, 1 4-wide checkup could bring them right back into it. But we are losing cars as Mike and Mythical make a little bit of contact there. You do not want to lose the draft at any time. But, of course, after seeing that, ooh, he hit that wall decent.
Hard.
And that was a decent hit. We saw Scene have to pit from then the Xfinity race. We'll see. That car swerving a little bit. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, that car is way off the pace. He might have to pit for that. But we are losing cars. But we just now got to halfway, and after an early caution, it's definitely possible, you know, that we get that caution, brings the field back together, but, you know, you never want to take the risk. We saw 1 caution in Xfinity. We've had 1 caution in Cup. You don't want to have that risk of it. Oh, KFC Bucket's real tight there in the tri-oval. He is trying his hardest, I'll tell you that much. This is the best opportunity I think he's ever gotten, and he's trying to make the most out of it. And I respect it, but he is struggling with that race car as we are losing cars. We're down to 27 in the first pack. We'll see how long this lasts, but the racing still wild. 2 and 3 wide Slash. The super speedway ace now in control. Dan did not pit. Looks like he is all right.
Yep, and typical in P2 there. We've still got some 3x3 action. I think maybe the pack gonna take probably need a minute here to regroup, I would imagine. Maybe things simmer down for a few laps. Look at this, Sunbelt, 3 cars lined up on the bottom here, and they've got Chase there too.
And they got Commander as well. They are trying to form an alliance with other Chevrolets perhaps. And Junior is in front of the O2 Payton. Trying to link up, trying to take control of the race. I saw a lap car, by the way, in turns 1 and 2. I'm not sure who that was, but they are now single file. And to Dylan's point earlier, I think if you want to control the pace and have less chaos, you want fast cars in front of you. That's Stu getting lapped, by the way. He had a good race earlier, but you needed these top 2, Typical and Slash, controlling the pace. But I think pretty quickly we're going to see the field get separated once again. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, Stu had a tire down. He pitted. This car definitely has the speed to run in the draft, which is a single file restart so detrimental, you know, but it was for the safety of our drivers. If he gets a caution, he should very well get the free pass. Wayside will not be a challenge for that free pass. He is a little bit too off the pace, but there is another car up the road. I think that's Doug in the 08. 2 cars. Well, Doug actually got a little bit of damage in that wreck, so I'm not sure, but drivers that can definitely have the speed to keep up, but how much of a factor will they play when they're caught? You see Discord bot kind of trailing the pack there. This will check them up a little bit. This is where Typical can maybe line up a move here. If Stu might put on a block, they're not going to put on a block. Typical is content with riding with Slash, it seems. The 2 Dodges, they know they're one of the faster cars here. They're content with riding around Junior in 3rd. I don't think Ivan Angiot is going to be content with Junior being in 3rd, though. As you can see, Stu right there. Look at the jockey. Dylan with an aggressive move under Stu and trying to stay ahead of Mean. Now Mythical's going to kind of get trapped there. Avery 4 wide bottom. KFC bot's still in the mix. Now we're back to 3 wide here. Perry's in the mix. Kermit with a huge run up top. Mac in a bad spot there. It didn't separate the field as much as I thought. Discord bomb guys are still trailing, but it definitely...
Kermit almost in the wall, sorry there.
It did definitely kind of calm down the 2 and 3 hour racing. Typical's had enough. He's going to use Doug as a pick. What's Slash going to do? This is an interesting play that you don't usually see at the super speedways, but Slash is going to power through. What a move from Slash. He's going to clear, and now Doug is going to play blocker, and now we have a battle for the free pass as well. As look at the lead that Slash has now gotten with the traffic of Doug and Stu, but they're 4 wide. How about Avery? This is probably the first time he's been 4 wide in his NAPA Sim career, and it's in Talladega in the middle of a huge pack. Perry is there. Stu's into the wall. That's bad if he loses the draft because Doug is hanging on for now. He is going to lose the draft. That's a good 4x4. Look out. Perry has to give a little bit of room to his teammate. He does. He actually clears him. I think Avery cut him a break. Big battling in the back here and for the lead.
Yeah, they caught up Slash. Slash got too big of a lead and they ran him down real easily. Oh, KFC bot's gonna get shoved out of the line, I think, because FXZ's gonna go low on Typical for the lead, but Typical's gonna shut that door real quick, and Typical to the point now here at Talladega.
We're not done with lap traffic just yet. We're not close to him yet, but I saw Isolated earlier, just stranded in the back straightaway, running by himself. We'll catch him in a couple of laps, I would imagine, but with Doug getting lapped, that has allowed Typical to get to the front, and FXN has been playing support for a bunch of cars today, this time running in 2nd. And look at KFC Bot to the inside now. KFC Bot, a veteran of the series, trying to go with one last hurrah in 3rd place to the inside of Slash. Some cars straggling on the outside. Matthew and Cam fell like the rear, I think, but new to the inside with the 52 behind of Mike and SM. Lap car as we go to the start finish right here.
Oh man, this is so tight. Everyone's trying to get to the bottom. Everyone's trying to make moves. This is the aggressive point of the race that we haven't seen since the start. Matthew's in jeopardy here. There is so little cars in this pack that when you hit the wall, that might be it for you. We'll see here. These drivers going to try and play defense. I mean, we are seeing a lot of stragglers. Discord Bot Jr., they can't keep up. I mean, the pace of the cars up front, like Typical and Slash, they are super fast cars, so it is really, really hard to keep up with them, even at a super speedway. But the fact that we are seeing so many drivers just struggle to simply keep up is unbelievable. I think these guys are going to be all right, but man, we have gone to a weird point of the race with an early crash and a lot of mistakes early on. This pack is simmering down, and now we have reached legit lap traffic here.
Yeah, not something you common see at a super speedway. Usually with damaged cars, we see this. We see it sometimes with damaged cars, like I said, but unusual to see it like this. Just come up naturally. Go on, Chris, as these guys have had to maneuver isolated.
I don't know, I was gonna say that this race has been a war of attrition.
Look at the move by Typical!
4-1! Typical! Oh my god!
Typical! I'm so sorry. Typical just went through a gap that wasn't there. What an aggressive move.
No, you're good. I was gonna say that we were. this part of the race is especially crazy because we're coming near the dying stages, and it's been a war of attrition because we lost a bunch of cars early on, and we're starting to see some lap cars come by naturally. But that was insane from Typical around the outside, 4 wide from isolated there in the lap corner, and he got by him fairly easily. I think FX7 went through the same thing here around the outside of him, but wow, what a move.
Yeah, and there's SM now looking on the inside of Typical. Has got Sunbelt help there, 999, kind of battling there, but also, yeah, now the Sunbelt car is possibly coming into play now for the lead. I think Isolated is going to merge with this pack. He's probably quick enough to stay in it, I would imagine.
I think Mac and Vixeri had a little bit of miscommunication. I think they both wanted to get in line, but one of them was slightly late to the party and it caused side by side. But we know how fast Vixeri is. Is he going to be content with working with SM? Because he seems like he's the fastest Sunbelt car, and he might want to get to the front. But these two Dodges are set. Like, look what's happening to the pack. A blistering pace is being set by this top two, and they're content with it. They are just letting it happen. They are riding around and just letting it happen. Here we go. A little bit of a late move, miscommunication. I think SM might have pulled out and kind of faked it. Vixterity pulled out thinking he was going to pull out, and now Vixterity's going underneath him. But these two Dodges just drafting each other, giving each other pushes. They are not allowing any other car to challenge.
Yep, and Slash has just controlled so much of this race like he does on these super speedways. Obviously a 2-time Talladega winner. He's won once in Xfinity, once in Cup here. And obviously looking for another Talladega win. And another win in our super speedway type track that he's just been we have been accustomed to him being so good at the past few seasons.
They got disconnected. Vixterity got to his inside, but now he has no help. He has no help. Typical will side draft back and take advantage of Slash's draft, but it's really not working. He's not really getting much of a run here. Commander now in tow. Here comes Internet Mac with a huge run. Anikate. We're starting to see a few new players come into the mix as Isolated begins to get kind of shuffled out. Now I think these guys are going to begin to draft back together. I mean, it's obvious after that early wreck, the memo was to kind of calm it down, but now we're at that point of the race where are they going to pick it up again, and if so, when? Because we have gotten to that point where we've gotten a really long green flag run in, and we're just going to catch more and more cars. If we stay green long enough, Chasey Man is in a group of a few cars. He would be the next car to go left, and he is one of the odds-on favorites to win. I'm sure none of them expect a green flag run this long here.
Yeah, but we'll probably see the intensity pick up and chances for cautions to come. We're seeing it pick up just a little bit now to start to get back into the 3-wide formations. Actually, maybe even 4-wide formations. There's Perry taking it down low of the 3-wide. And that's going to leave SM way out to dry. As it looks like we're going to probably see these guys catch up eventually and work their way through this top 3. But right now, we have Slash in command here at Talladega.
Commander and Vixterity had a bit of miscommunication there. Commander was behind Vixterity, but decided to make a move on him. And Typical in the back straightaway I saw was 4 wide, but around the outside just powered through. The horsepower of those Dodges seemed to be the key today. And Slash and Typical have controlled the pace so far, but now Slash has lost his dancing partner, and you can see the effects of that.
Here goes Vixterity.
The field's back together. Look at Vixterity to the inside now.
Typical sticks with Slash. The Dodges are working together. Typical chooses to stick with him. Oh, he might not do it anymore. Yeah, he realized that high side's toast. He has to make a move for himself because that's not a teammate. It's a manufacturer teammate, but it's not an actual teammate. You got to do what you got to do. He's going to go to the bottom here. Vixterity will grab the lead back, and now Slash, who's been in control this entire green flag run, might now get put 3 wide for the lead. He is in jeopardy. No, Vixterity hangs on. You can hang in the middle 2 by 2, but if you get put 3 wide, you are a sitting duck, and you gotta hope that doesn't happen, but he has no help here. Vixterity will clear. Big block on Garrett. Typical puts a big block. Garrett's gonna try and get to the bottom anyways. Doesn't have the momentum. Chase and Meme are coming in. Mythical 4 wide here. This gets real tight here, but we're gonna be all right.
Yo, 4 wide, and here comes Chase. I'm sorry to interrupt Chris, but I was on the point of record. Here comes Chase. He has a Super Speedway win in the Cup Series. Won a miraculous Daytona 2 race where half the entire field pretty much wrecked on their own and gave him a win. And we are getting crazy now. 4 by 4 racing as we're coming across the line.
Oh man, this is tight. This is really not good here. Someone I feel like is going to hit the wall here. Commander, I'm in the anti-odor. You have enough of a buffer. You might be all right. Commander's into the wall. Gets off a bit. Typical back in control. Dexterity fights back. 4 wide. Now back to 3. These guys have done such a good job at kind of calming it down when things are getting intense. But they are still 3 by 3. One mistake, it could go bad. Meme trying to get to the bottom of Chase. He cuts him off. Slash is working as hard as he can to get back to the bottom. You see how big of a run he's been able to get off the corner, but it is no man's land, especially when you get that 4 wide. Meme with an aggressive move. Chase can't counter. Here comes Meme in the 7, still side by side for the lead.
Yeah, battling for the lead, we have seen things get crazy real quick here. And now this is where you can get a wreck that possibly puts everyone back into contention. We gotta watch for that. Oh, I think Slash is about to go on the wall. Yes, he is. Slash in the wall. This is big. He'll be out of play for quite a while. I think he will not lose the draft here. He has enough cars behind him to keep him in the back. But that's going to take him out of contention for a while. And things could get real crazy now. Vixterity and Typical are still battling for the lead up there.
So is Garrett and Meme, and so is Chasen. The Mike on the inside. Those cars are so fast. But I think Typical is finally going to get by. No, he doesn't. There's a run on the outside line. The 51 of Garrett giving a great shot to the back of Vixterity. Still fighting hard around the outside. SM to the inside now. Maybe trying to link up. Oh, let's throw 4 wide. 4 wide as they say that. Here comes KFC ball to the inside of SM.
Oh, I think Chase just might go the wall here. No, he's not. Watch out, guys.
Good car control. It's all about who can give the better push, Meme or Garrett. They have been both pretty even, but Garrett with a way better push to Vixterity that time around. I think Meme is more ready to go for the lead. I think that's why the pushes aren't as good. I mean, this is so tight. These two are both relying on pushes. Oh, Meme, he will type out. KFC buckles with him. Does Meme have the momentum? But now that's going to get Vixterity in the road with the push from Garrett. That's going to mess them all up. But if Vixterity can't clear down this front straightaway, he's in jeopardy. Garrett now gets put out of the line. Vixterity should actually be able to clear here, I think. No, he couldn't. Now he's in jeopardy here. He's going to need a lot of help that he's not going to get. Meme to the point in Talladega. Garrett's in the wall.
Garrett in the wall. We nearly went 4 by 4 for the lead there. KFC bot was looking for it there. He wanted to go for it so bad, but opted to push the 7 to the lead. This is what he got to do. But now Anna K might make it 4 wide for second again. No, she won't. She'll stick behind that 40. Meme to the point. As you just said, not a guy you usually ever see leading, but he can definitely lead left here on the super speedway. As KFC bot now the one in line, but I think Anna K does not want him leading that line. Here comes Anna K to the inside. Can't make the move work. We're 4 wide, almost 5 wide to the back there. Coming across the line, Meme leading.
That inside line wants to go. Anna K, Internet, Mythical, they all want. They had a turn 4, but they could not quite get to the inside of KFC bot. Junior, Avery, cannot be overstated enough. Avery also the potential to win this race, but KFC bot and Typical, who can now try to get around this 7 car, who has been very aggressive in this race. Meme recovers off the inside line from KFC Ball, but Annika is trying to make that move happen. I think she is faster than KFC Ball, but KFC Ball uses the momentum for himself. Here he comes to the lead now.
And also, there's the 44 and 33. They're Mythical and Junior are kind of slicing and dicing their way to the field as a pair almost, trying to get through cars. I think KFC Bot went to the inside again. Meme blocked the outside, blocks the inside now, trying to manage the lines. We'll see some more 4 wide there. Might see Dexterity going to the wall. Him and Cam are both in the wall.
That's just going to make more cars in jeopardy. They might lose the draft. Dexterity's been so strong, he's in jeopardy. He's got a few cars to help, but they're stragglers. They can barely keep up. Meme now playing defense. He has been blocking both lanes masterfully. Typical has so much speed. Pan's been giving him insane pushes, but Meme has just been putting so many blocks on. He's going to go and block again. He's going to block again. Disrupt the run. Now he's going to go back to the bottom. Typical actually will ditch Peyton. He does not want to be top of 3 wide. He knows that he's fast on the bottom. Look, oh my god, that group lost so much momentum. So many cars are falling out. But you know who's not falling out of this group? Perry in the 11, Avery in the 83, they're hanging on, and now all the fast cars. Dexterity, Typical, Slash is back on the bottom, but they have lost time, and Slash is... No, he's in the pack, but out of the pack is Dexterity, and I don't see him catching up.
Yeah, several guys, several more guys have lost the pack now because of what just happened with Cam and Dexterity. Discord bought one of them too. So, we have a lot of underdog. Here comes Mythical to the point.
If I am an anti-hero behind him.
Yeah,
and he's going to pull out a line immediately.
Yeah, you know who's not an underdog? Mythical. I'm shocked he hasn't won yet. He is such a story to win this race. And this is definitely a track that he can win, that he has great speed in that car and also a lot of skill. But the more 4 wide that happens, the more cars we might lose. The grip has gone away. These guys are probably going to be on the same tires the entire race. So it is all about car control. You see Anakin Typical, they eased through the corner there, but look at how much time they lost. This definitely, in my opinion, has a green flag feel. I know there's a lot of chaos, but I just don't feel like there is enough cars for there to be like a bunch of 4x4 racing to kind of cause that wreck, because 4 wide is the only way wrecks will happen. So with that kind of in play, and with so many cars falling out, I could see it's going green to the end. Slash is coming back. I think if he gets to the lead, we might not see him lose it again.
Yeah, but I have an Antioda right now, the 1-up point, and Slash wants to go. He wants to get by Kermit, but no run is there, and we have just lost so many cars that we are not even seeing 4 wide anymore. Now it's just down to 3x3 action. Might come down to a game of runs.
Just because the energy has dissipated does not mean that the race has not. Perry went from the back now to second, has brought Kermit with him, has separated the Dodgers, but Kermit wants his glory for himself. The NAPA Sim Series champion looking to win at Talladega perhaps. Getting by Perry, who did good yesterday in the Xfinity race, now up to second, and Slash will come by with him. With 2 forwards behind. Mike saw an opportunity to get by Garrett. Now got there. Mythical as well, getting pressured by Meme. But again, we're seeing the same story as earlier, where just the leader has a big lead now. That 48 machine is fast. We also have to consider that those cars that lost the draft, will we catch up to them perhaps, because they have lost a heap of time. I can't even see them anymore.
Yeah,
there they are.
there is no chance. No chance. There's just not enough cars, not enough momentum. There's too many cars racing. If Slash gets back to this lead, it might just be game over. He was able to control the field when there were 35 cars. Now there's maybe 25, 22 cars remain in the draft, and not all of them are even that fast and able to fully keep up. So if Slash could get back in control, it might be Rasp, but don't count on him in Antiote or Pole Sitter in the 500. He might be just as fast. We are under 10 laps to go. Could you believe the story that we could see at Talladega with 2 races and both of only having 1 caution? Of course, this race had a few more DNFs, but 2 races with only 1 caution is just not even foreseeable in the NAPA Sim Series. But this new generation of car has allowed for less drivers to need to bump draft, and you know, that causes so many mistakes. Now it's just more about taking the runs, and as long as you don't make a mistake when doing that, you should be fine. But that is the thing, with less bump drafting and more actual just movement, It might be a lot harder because you make less mistakes. But
Kermit to the inside of Slash there. Looking to his inside, but Slash is going to throw the block. Throw a mean block right there.
Big block, don't watch out. Or actually, do watch out, my bad. Typical. He's coming back on that bottom. He's going to get in line with Mike. He is as fast as Slash, and they worked together earlier, but now that's not important anymore. You got 4, 5, you got the top 6, all that have not won this season. 2 of them aren't even racing for points. They're just racing for their own glory. Imagine if they get a win. But a win would lock them into the playoffs, especially for drivers like Kermit and I and Antio that are more on the bubble and might need to rely on this win. Slash and Garrett, they can win on their own. Kermit and Antio, they might need a bit more help. A win at Talladega would do dividends as the field is trying to keep up with one another, but it's getting spread apart. It's getting a little bit stagnant. Here comes FXN. Payne trying to get going. Meme left out to dry on the high side. We are now at 7 to go at Talladega.
Yeah, this pack is deeply disorganized right now, and that's really good for who's leading. And I'm an anti-over. Slash is going to get put on a line. All 3 of these guys are going to get by him, and Slash is going to start losing a ton of time. He got put out of line. And now, here's Kermit and Garrett maybe trying to make something work. Trying to catch up to this 48 machine.
I think the field understands the game plan now. Do not let those Dodges link up, because Slash earlier today was leading in 10th to a second, and both of them were dominant, in control of the pace. And Slash tried to do that again here with I'm an Antioder. They got by Kermit at first, but Kermit got by Slash. Slash is now 3 wide there. But what can Kermit do? The Dodges, we've seen all race long, they have the horsepower, they have the drafting. And I am an Antioder. We mentioned it earlier, right? He won the pole for the Daytona 500. There's no real difference, I imagine, between that car and the car that 48 has brought here today. But right now, they have pulled away. FXN is there too. Dylan, he was up here earlier in the race. He's back up
Oh,
here.
Commander gets hooked off SM. Collects Avery. We're going to get a caution. Mythical can't avoid this one. He's into the wall hard. Caution's going to come out late at Talladega. Commander got into it with SM. And that is heavy damage on both cars. This is an important race back to the line. I'm an Antioder in control. We might be going to overtime at Talladega with a bunch of people that have not won this season in control. Caution is out late, and we will get that second caution. Unbelievable. Mythical could not get by that one, and this is a huge break. Dan lost the draft. So many drivers lost the draft. Oh, no.
Oh, Redeem has a lot of damage from that.
Oh, man, what a shame for the 31 car. He was in the draft all day. Not really much of a player, but for this car to stay in the draft was really impressive. And now we're going to run into each other a little bit. These guys will have to pit for repairs, which might end their days of chances of winning. They'll be fine. They'll get their damage repaired, but that will definitely slow them all down. Matthew with some damage as well. His rear end was destroyed before his front end got damaged. Caution is out. The whole ball game has changed. We might be going into overtime.
All right, let's take a look what happens here to bring out a late caution. As you see here, Commander and SM get together. Commander hard to the wall. There's a Redeem in the wall. Avery gets a piece. Or my bad, that was Perry in the wall. Redeem hits Matthew trying to avoid it. And this might take out a couple guys, and we'll lose several guys. And several guys will no longer be competitive for the rest of this race.
So here we are on the back straightaway. It is 3 wide. SM and Commander make contact. Avery avoids it, but Mythical does not. KFC bought good dodge there by him. But Redeem ran to the back of Matthew there. And both of them have significant damage.
Late restart here. Most likely will be overtime, if not 2 to go. We have a lot of players at the front. Who is going to get it done? We're ready to restart here at Talladega. Hello. This is about to get good. Not overtime, but 2 laps to go. I'm an Antioder, FXN. Who's going to get the better jump on the restart? Once you get to the restart zone, it is fair game. Here we go. 2 to go at Talladega. The crowd is on their feet. Green flag is back in the air.
Look at everyone jostling for lanes. Oh, Kermit's gonna get filtered out here. Oh, FXN got a great jump. He might have the lead here. He
Not
might be
enough.
cleared. Just barely not.
Oh,
I'm
man.
is still there.
Dylan, his teammate's going to give him a push, but what will Dylan do for another win? He has not won in a long time. Can he get it done? Meme is in line with him. Garrett didn't get a really good restart. Look at Slashy trying to cut up the middle. He's trying to get there. Still trying to get lane forward. Back is getting aggressive. Don't crash. They're good. Here we come. Coming to the white flag. Ivan Antioner is clear. Here comes Dylan. Meme is in charge. Big stacking up in the back. I'm not sure what's happening back there. Ivan Antioner has to control the lanes. Coming to the white flag in Talladega. Who is going to get it done? One more time around Talladega.
Well, bets are off now. It's every man for himself. Let's see what happens here to the back straightaway. This is your best chance to make a move. Everybody jostling for spots behind. Dylan, he's got to set up Ivan Antioner and try to get by him here. I think he's going to step behind him. No, Meme's going to be the one to make the move. He's got the run from Garrett behind. Let's see, can he get by to the back straightaway? This gridlock is going to really help Ivan Antioner here. Nobody's going to get a run here. Back behind him, I think. So here we go, 3 and 4 for the final time.
Here we go. Ivan Antioner. Yeah, Ivan Antioner's clear. No contest. Meme's gonna go for P2. I just don't think it's gonna work out. Ivan Antioner. Domination in the second half. He's going back to victory lane. Ivan Antioner wins in Talladega. What a finish for the number 48. What a finish for Shermensky West. 1-2 finish. Meme P3, FXN P4. Peyton wraps out the top 5. Unbelievable. Ivan Antioner is back in victory lane once again, and we had some great stories all throughout the field. Drivers like Mike come in with the top 10. Avery had a great run, comes home 14th. What a race for so many drivers, but Ivan Antioner is back in victory lane. I am sure he is ecstatic. What a race. Unbelievable. We're about ready to take a look at the finishing results here after a wild Talladega race. That was one for the record books as the flagman waves the caution. Let's take a look at the finishing results. Ivan Antioner is back in victory lane once again. Ivan Antioner is putting up a statement. There's been a lot of rumors about what's going to happen to the Shermensky West rise, with the possibility of Dylan retiring and with one of the drivers of the 48 or 36 possibly leaving. Well, Ivan Antioner is doing his damnedest to solidify a spot for next season. Dylan comes on P2, funny enough. And how about Meme? I'm pretty sure he had a top 10 in the 500 as well. He is a really good super speedway racer. FXN Peyton round out the top 5. And some good stories at the end of the top 10. Garrett, Mac, and Mike. Great run for Mike. Typical and Kermit round out the top 10. Slash honestly led most of the race, but with an injury to come on P11, that is pretty good. And how about some of these days for Junior, Avery, Perry, Montana, Jack, Dalton? Top 20 finishes. Great job. And we even saw Perry get some laps led. Amazing day for some of these guys. And then other drivers that just were not able to capitalize. Dan, Cam, they were a threat for a good portion of the race, but a few instances with the wall took them out. Same with Chasing Man and Vixterity. Rough days for them. Vixterity will continue to fall in the points. And Discord by with P28. And then a lot of our slower drivers. Isolated will be credited with the P25. There was a scoring error, so move everyone else down a spot below tie. And then our DNFs, drivers like Commander, Mythical, Wayside. Commander has 2 wins, but it has still been a rough stretch for him since his second win. And drivers like Mythical and Wayside are yet to win. They are looking dangerous near that cutoff, with cutoff drivers like Dylan, Mac, FXN, Peyton, Kermit, all having great days. They are going to fade really close to that cutoff, which is a shocker, but it is true. And other drivers that just couldn't get the job done, like rookies, TXN and Riley Davis Jr. And that will wrap it up here at Talladega. And again, as Chris pointed out, what a race for the Dodgers. 1-2 for them. They were strong all day. Mac and Chris, guys, in the booth here today. We saw a more chaotic race in terms of carnage, but the racing was just as it was all weekend. What a race we saw. How'd you guys feel about today's race?
What a race we saw, and an interesting one at that, how we saw it play out. Early wreck and then nothing else. Kept it clean the whole way, despite how aggressive we got. And well, I am an Antioder, his second career win coming up here at Dega, and he continues the impressive season he's been on so far.
And for me, I've been noticing that this race has been a bit more of a war of attrition compared to what we saw yesterday in the Xfinity race. Xfinity was a bit more chaotic, but this we were seeing cars just lose the pack, and we were seeing the main group shrink, and the energy just disappearing. And we were seeing that group just stay together, and we were seeing a lot of lead changes from start to finish. It sucks for some of the guys that had brought fast race cars like Redeem and Mythical who were caught up in accidents, but overall I thought the race was very good, and good job to Amanetti because he got one back. He got pole at Daytona, but didn't win there, but he won today.
That will wrap it up for Talladega weekend. Next up is a monumental weekend for the NAPA Sim Series, our first ever NAPA Sim doubleheader. We will see the Cup guys race on Saturday and Sunday with an invert in the lineup. It will be a wild, wild weekend with, of course, trucks in Xfinity. We all love the truck series. I know it. But that will wrap it up here at Talladega. Congratulations to I Am an Antioder. He will be in the playoffs. We have a new winner this season. That will finally end a crazy streak we've had of a lot of the same drivers winning. It is good to see. But for myself, Dylan, joined by Mac, Chris, and Booth, that will do it. We will see you guys next weekend at Kansas. Hope you guys enjoyed a wild race at Talladega.